The officer arrived and he observed a car which matched the description that the
So
caller
that would be
gave.
like me calling and saying, hey, this guy did this over there. The cops go, no. I mean, theoretically, that's...
Hold up. So basically anyone can just phone in a tip and the cops can pull you over? How do we feel about that? Reasonable cause or police overreach? Let me know in the comments, because this right here is walking a tightrope over the fourth. Amendments in...
would be anyone could make a phone call, make an allegation, cops go boom and just stop, do whatever they want without. Either you're charged with driving while intoxicated, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officers were dispatched to a Holiday Inn in Harris County, Texas in response to a disturbance. The caller reported that 2 white males left the property, one in an F-150 and one in a Mitsubishi. When the officer arrived, he observed a Mitsubishi which matched the description given in the parking lot, headed toward the nearby road. The officer initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the driver, the defendant. Officer asked the defendant if he was involved in a physical disturbance, and the defendant stated yes, that him and another individual got into a physical fight, and that he got into his car to separate himself and calm down. The defendant stated he was headed toward a gas station when he was stopped by the officer. While speaking to the defendant, the officer observed an odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to drinking 2 beers, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 on the HGN.
Now pay attention. This is where the probable cause argument starts falling apart. Legally, smelling alcohol doesn't equal intoxication, and 0 indicators on 2 sobriety tests. That's textbook reasonable doubt right there.
A 0 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 0 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to a breath test. The results were a .103 and a .113.
Judge, I'm going to say no probable cause here because...
What's he doing wrong? He's like trying to get away from him. He's like doing the right thing. You know?
And probable cause doesn't exist. He's 0 for 6 on the walk and turn, 0 and 6 on the one-leg stand. There is no law in Texas that a person cannot drink. Just because he smelled alcohol does not mean the person is intoxicated.
Do we have anything that he's doing, you know? Tell me what led them to him.
Did the judge just give a TED talk on haters and the meaning of life mid-hearing? Love the energy, but we're dancing dangerously close to Motivational Monday instead of Courtroom Monday.
Yes, sir. So what led to the investigation was a caller who reported the disturbance. The officer arrived and he observed a car which matched the description that the caller
That would be
gave.
like me calling and saying, hey, this guy did this over there. The cops go, no. I mean, theoretically, that's would be anyone could make a phone call, make an allegation, cops go boom and just stop, do whatever they want without.
Yes, Your Honor.
No probable cause.
Thank you, Judge.
Be careful, man. There's a lot of haters out there. Don't let them get you, you know? Life's too short, right? All right, good luck. My sole issue is protecting as many people as I can. That's what I want to do. I know, or it may come at an inconvenience to you, but I like to follow the wishes of the complaining witnesses because I don't want them to live in fear. There's nothing worse than having to live in fear, having to walk on eggshells, and that's what we try to prevent here. And I know that you have your side of the story, and there's always 2 sides of the story, but the best recipe that I usually find is keeping people away from themselves. The problem is that may be a disadvantage of you because you may have nowhere else to go. But what other choice do I have? I don't know.
This right here is heartbreaking. His own daughter wants nothing to do with him. No contact, restraining order in motion. Her words paint a picture of years of pain and she's drawing the line. This isn't just court. This is generational trauma playing out in real time.
Right? Tell me, you were able to speak to her.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll relay the message she gave me. So just a little bit of context, the defendant is her father, is what she says. And she says she's had no contact with him since the incident. But she does say she's been getting updates from family about the defendant that she's not asking for. She said that she's getting married and planning on starting a family, and her heart's desire is to have her father in her life, but she said that he's proven that it cannot happen. She states that she is done with her relationship with the defendant. The defendant has not changed. She wants no contact. She's currently working on making her restraining order permanent. She states that the defendant is not trying to get help. She states that she wants anger management, Alcoholics Anonymous, and Narcotics Anonymous treatment.
So there's drug issues and alcohol issues.
According to the complaining witness, Your Honor, yes. So we know about the situation.
Stop. Don't say anything. Just don't.
And so we know about the situation where he needs some of the items he has at his place. She says that she has them placed in bags. She says that she's either told the family to handle giving the items to the defendant, or she is okay if the defendant comes with officers while she's not present.
So she obviously lives at that house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who, is it grandfather's house? Whose house?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
It was the grandpa's house, his father's house.
I,
But he had actually moved in there to help out with his parents but, well, I told you, he strokes at both times. Judge.
yeah, but I can't, she's living there and, it's,
So I'm told that his daughter is a drug user, Judge, and that this happened late at night. In fact, even in the DIMS, it says that this alleged
I
assault.
can't really,
No, but it says alleged assault happened at 2:30, but we didn't call the police until 4, I believe. And she mentions a long gun, but there was no guns found at the scene.
I don't know. I just don't want you to, she doesn't want to have contact with you. So don't have contact with her. Don't use any drugs, don't use alcohol, and making that a condition of your bond as well.
It's
I don't know what to tell you, but she lives there, and if I allow you to go back to that house, it's a recipe for disaster.
Judge, he does live with his parents and does nowhere else to stay right now. He's been living at the Star Hope shelter for a week. In fact, they arrested him in his underclothes and he's wearing clothes that were given to him.
Well, like you said, he can go back and get the stuff. He's got to go with an officer, and at a time that she's not going to be there. I guess we could work that out.
His ID and cell phone, all that are at the house and they can't get that.
She has it in bags ready to give to him. You know what? Also do this. Can you, if you want to, we can roll this to tomorrow, but.
Y'all, the judge just said it. Stuck like Chuck if he screws up again. No money for bail, no backup plan. This man is one mistake away from sleeping behind bars, permanently. Would you risk going back to that house if you were him?
Will you also reach out to, I guess, the homeowner and get their opinion? Are they okay with him coming back? Perhaps you can get their side as well and see what they say. So we get like a neutral and detached person to see, is this because he obviously wants to go back to the house? We know that she doesn't, but the problem is that if I let you go back to this house, you will invariably at one point or the other, you're going to run into her, and it's going to be disastrous because it always is, and then you're going to end up back in jail.